In the bottom left, sticking with Valder, we have Invincible, aka Benjamin, up against Zested up here in the top right, playing as Vesper.
We're in the era of Vesper right now. Vesper is the commander that everyone got really excited about and started banning left and right.
This is with the new ban system as well, so I guess Invincible, maybe they're not as familiar with Vesper meta, or maybe they think that they have like the solution to it. And we're seeing Valder left unbanned as well, so...
Well, Valder is a strong commander, but is not always going to be your favorite ban on a map with a lot of other powerful picks. Especially if you don't think he can get stuff early.
So, wow, we're seeing like almost like... I love like the mages in the middle. Like just completely identical here. And Zested has this kind of nice adaptation where like Vesper has much more health and didn't have to go back and heal. And now she's just gonna kind of be able to be aggressive, I think, for this turn. Oh, she's just gonna run over to the left-hand side.
They're definitely playing this map differently. We've got no thieves, minimal knights, and they're ignoring those corner villages again.
Yeah, we do see a thief up in the top right-hand side, but yeah, Invincible is just like not playing this map kind of standard at all. I do love that like they sent a sword up to the left though. That's gonna be able to kind of like slow down the thief a little bit. But Vesper is gonna be able to deal with that actually, so.
I don't know the sword's decision to capture the village instead of finishing off the mage there. Whoa! Valder goes into the knight.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's enough army here just to bully all the army out, so... Maybe this is it. Maybe the plan is you just play super aggressive. Oh, and hits the wagon of all things.
Meanwhile, Zested's in nowhere land, trying to play escort to the thief. That'll be great in a few turns, but for right now, you gotta defend that HQ.
Yeah, like, this stronghold could go down. I think the knight's slightly out of position to get the crit, so that's like a little bit unfortunate, but... Oh wow, Invincible isn't gonna go for the stronghold just yet.
Strictly speaking, they can't. They had nothing that could hit the right side of it, and that would be essential. They also can't clear the dog without using the knight or a Valder, so they'd only get one on it, and that'd be in 10.
Right. I love this sword up at the top left, still doing harassment, still living as well.
Well, I think that's the right call from Zested. It's weak enough, it can't problems. They're just kind of ignoring it and doing a lot of work with their units elsewhere. Meanwhile, that knight is still not critting the HQ, and it's allowing Zested to have much more flexibility in their position.
Oh, and Invincible's still not going for the hits on the HQ yet. We're just gonna bully these spears out? It makes sense.
Knights counter spears? New meme?
Oh, and I love the capture on that village as well. Wow, that stronghold is really under threat. And it's just going to come down to, does Zested have enough to clear this army?
Well, there is a Vesper groove up. It could always be used in case of emergency.
Okay.
You see so much damage coming in.
Oh, but yeah. You're right. Vesper Groove is actually going to keep the stronghold alive. And wow, suddenly Invincible's army that was looking incredibly threatening is just took a huge amount of damage and can't counterattack. Oh, balloon goes down. Knight picks off a dog. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I'm just gonna wall with these balloons. Oh, because one of these mages is injured. Alright, now Vesper's coming in. We're seeing more units go down. There's even a witch for a big hex here.
I love how Zested was in the perfect position to walk over and smack that dog. Zested is so on point with their commander attacks this game.
Oh, there's a knight crit here. I think Valder just dies. Oh, yeah, and there goes Valder. And
GG, Invincible She.
Yep. Invincible played a really interesting style. I think that worked pretty well, actually. Against any other commander, I actually think that might have worked. But Vesper had Groove at just the right time. Threw down smoke to defend on a turn where Invincible like potentially could have ended the game. Like there was a knight crit lined up. That knight did survive on full health, so it could have landed. And could have had something like commander kills the dog and like sword crit on the stronghold, and then you just have to keep Valder alive to hit it next turn. But
Vesper was definitely a good answer to this strategy. I think if you're gonna go for something like this, you really do want to ban Vesper, meta or not.
yeah, I'm just gonna double check the rules just to make sure that we actually did put the banning clause into effect, because I am fairly confident that we did. And I'm just gonna bring up the charts real quick. And let's take a look. Yeah, army value is pretty even across the game. Unit count was pretty even across the game. Income is kind of where it broke off and was actually very heavily in Zested's favor all game. So yeah, like this is very much like an all-in, very gambly kind of strategy. And I guess like if you're, because Zest is obviously the higher seed player, so if you're coming in as the underdog, it's round one. You're not. I guess like the expectation is that you're not gonna win, which you know makes sense that you're the lower seed. So maybe you do just try and go for like this kind of all-in strategy, just try and dive the stronghold, get the win, see if you can sneak one in, but. No, Zested was just too prepared. And with Vesper being on the table, like... Yeah, it's gonna be...
I don't think we've seen the end of Invincible strategies, though. I think they were very fresh, and people are going to start playing more like that after watching this game.
Yeah, I could definitely see people being more aggressive. And I did check the rules. There are 3 bans per player, so... Yeah, it makes sense. We are potentially going to see more of this kind of thing going forwards. And yeah, I do think that it was just a bit of unfamiliarity with the rule set. So Invincible probably could have banned Vesper. I don't actually know what the bans were. This was a few days ago. And people, normally it'd be very easy to find bans in like the list, but people have been playing a ton. So like there's a lot of backlog in the ban bot to go through to find out this information. So.
It looks like Mercia, Tenri, and Valder were banned. Both games from Invincible. Whereas Zested repeatedly banned Vesper, Tenri, and the Twins. I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of Twins or Mercia on this map.
Twins would work well with this kind of strategy though. Like where you're going all in, you're setting up for a lethal. So Maybe that was like Zested was just like, I don't want to face someone going for an all-in. Or at least if I do, I want to make sure they don't have twins. So yeah, I could see that. Mercy is an interesting ban. I don't really feel like that would have been too problematic, but this is the first time I've seen Invincible play in quite a while, so yeah, maybe there just is a little bit of unfamiliarity with the new meta. Or the current meta, I should say. But yeah, there
are a few Mercia players who can just eke out that Mercia goodness. Like, have you played against Goose's Mercia recently? I had this game against Goose where I just could not kill a single unit. It was like they were zombies.
That's fair. I know there's like a lot of like really strong plays you can do with Mercia. Things like you leave your dragon to get hit by a mage or a witch and just accept it because you know you can heal it back up. So there is room to be explored still with Mercia. So I'm interested to see like how that's gonna go going forwards. But I do feel like Vesper would have been the more solid ban in this instance.
Yeah, if you're going for an HQ rush, you want to ban the commander that can make your HQ completely star power for Mario for a turn.
Yes. And not just the HQ, but everything around it. So, because that army just like went straight into Invincible's army, and then it was, in fact, Zested who was invincible on that turn and not invincible.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. But anyway, we're gonna go on to the next games, so